4 Apollo crews have now successfully returned from the moon. And the 5th one, while not succeeding in getting there, returned at least hale and hearty back to Earth. And 2 more Apollo flights are now scheduled for this year, the next for the 16th of April, and then finally Apollo 17, our last Apollo flight, in December of 1972. Why are we flying to the moon? What's our purpose? What is the essential justification of the exploration of space? The answer, I'm convinced, lies rooted not in whimsy, but in the nature of man. Let me give you my personal view. Man, as a biological species, is really a rather anomalous animal, whereas all other animals establish a place for themselves in nature's highly cooperative and competitive ecological system. Man has established his place in nature by altering his natural environment through such actions as practice in agriculture, rather than eating the national fruits of the trees and the plants, and clearing forests to build cities. Whereas all other living beings seem to find their places in the natural order and fulfill their role in life with a kind of calm acceptance, man clearly exhibits confusion. Why the anxiety? Why the storm and stress? Man really seems to be the only living thing uncertain of his role in the universe. And in his uncertainty, he has been calling since time immemorial upon the stars and the heavens for salvation and for answers to his eternal questions, who am I and why am I here? Wherever he fought, he invoked the stars for help. Wherever he loved, he invoked the moon. And all great religions hold that eternal life and heaven as man's reward for his good deeds here on earth. Whereas most animals follow for their survival certain telltale scents which are too refined for human perception, man seems to be uniquely equipped to perceive certain vibrations emanating from the celestial environment. As a result, astronomy is the oldest science. It existed for thousands of years even as the only science, and it is today considered the queen of the sciences. Although man lacks the eyes of the night owl, the scent of the fox, or the hearing of the deer, he has an uncanny ability to learn about abstruse things like the motions of the planets, the cradle-to-grave cycle of the stars, and the distance between galaxies. Whereas all other species seem resigned to the environment into which they have been born, man clearly does not. Since his early beginnings, he has wanted to fly, although he was not born with wings, and today he does fly. What is man's motivation? Why does he always want to explore what is outside his abode? Why is he so eager to pioneer activities beyond the natural endowments? Why is he so interested in science? I think the mainspring of science is curiosity. Since the early beginnings, there has always been men and women who felt a burning desire to know what was under the rock or beyond the hills or across the oceans. And this restless breed now wants to know what makes an atom work, or what is the geological history of the moon, or through what process does life reproduce itself, genetics. But also, there would not be a single great accomplishment in the history of mankind without faith. Any man who strives to accomplish something needs a degree of faith in himself. And whenever he takes on a challenge that requires more moral strength than he can muster, with his own limited mental and spiritual resources, then he needs faith in God. But many people find that churches, those old ramparts of faith, badly battered by the onslaught of 300 years of scientific skepticism. And this has led many to believe that science and religion are not compatible, that knowing and believing cannot live side by side. I believe that nothing could be further from the truth. Science and religion are not antagonists. On the contrary, they are sisters. While science tries to learn more about the creation, religion tries to better understand the Creator. While through science, man tries to harness the forces of nature around him, through religion, he tries to harness the force of nature within him.